Do you like piss?
No.
No.
No. I mean, I don't get that. What's the payoff? Somebody urinates on you? I guess if I was in the shower, it might be fun. Like I definitely have been with my wife in the shower
And peed.
and
yeah.
you pee, and then
Yeah.
and then they figure it out and they yell at you.
Yeah,
that's classic.
That's part of marriage. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, it stinks like coffee in here now. And it's hot.
Yeah, I mean, when you were sucking milk out of my tits, I knew you were weird, but this is really
This is gross.
But like, I mean, but then you got. I mean, do people do it in a bed? All these squirters, peers, they're peers.
So it's an age-old debate about.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people are adamant that it's one or the other. I've never heard the consensus on this. I don't know. I mean, people are like, it's not pee. They'll tell you it's not pee. And you're like, okay. And then I think I've heard doctors be like, no, it's pee.
Well, what do you have? An extra bladder that holds a different liquid in it?
I don't understand.
Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Shooting out.
I would not be into that at all. If someone did that, I'm gone.
Piss everywhere.
No, but I mean, if I even believed it wasn't piss, that it was spray, I still don't want that liquid on me.
Spray, and you're not with the guy who would put his face in there.
Yeah.
No.
Think about what women go through with jism
Yeah.
in their face. I've never jismed on a woman's face.
No.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Wow.
But also, I mean, it's reduced in trajectory and velocity, but it would shoot it so far. A lot of times it was like, missiles, like they were just getting.
When you were young?
Yeah, it was just always.
Really?
Oh yeah, headboard, everything. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, that was like that's all I had. What am I going to say?
Yeah.
Just a crazy volume and trajectory.
How much volume?
So much. Like I've said it before, but like I remember in college, this girl, she jerked me off. She goes, "What do you have, 4 balls?" Like it was. She's like, "This is so much cum."
Oh
yeah, it was so much volume.
Would you save up, or was that just a day's rations?
I think it was just I had because that's really your prostate, seminal fluid. And then it's just a roll of the dice on how long your orgasm lasts. And I just had a long one, a big long one.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was lucky because it felt good.
Yeah,
but I honestly, the cleanup was always like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a problem.
Jesus, my belly button was always the goal. Get past the belly button.
Oh,
yeah.
man. I caught them in my face all the time. If I
was
laying on my back, I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, shooter, man. Yeah.
So you could have done porn.
Just for that. They'd been like, oh, it's not a great cock, but like, whoa, that's a lot of,
Yeah. Well, I think ultimately, if I watch porn, I don't want to see a huge cock.
I don't want to see a mediocre cock. I got a real problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think it's the gayest I ever feel is when I'm like, is that his cock?
Oh, you want a big cock.
Well, I want it to be like, an admirable one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the 12-incher.
Right.
But like if the guy's like a 5-incher, I'm like, come on, man, why are you in this business?
Yeah.
How'd you get in this?
Yeah, that's true.
Just something where you go like, okay, not, nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and I'm well endowed. Don't get me wrong. Oh. Yeah. I don't shoot far, but I make up for it by the length of the.
You got a big one.
I've got a big one.
Nice. Man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And I think it runs in the family. My father, there was some reference to my father having a big one. I never saw it. I'm not one of those kids that saw. You probably did because you're Mexican, right?
I saw my dad's balls.
You did?
A few times.
No.
Yeah.
Just the balls?
Well, just because of certain I walk in and he's changing and he's bent over and I see they had like pig nuts. Like they were like, I was like, God.
What do you mean, from behind, between his legs?
Oh, yeah. And I was like, God, those are fucking huge. Get out of here. I'm like, those are your balls? And then, one time I remember he was on the bed laying there in his boxers, and I saw his balls like hanging out of the side, and I was like, yo, you got some nuts. He's like, oh, shut up, Tommy. Yeah. Just cover himself. Big old nuts.
That means he probably came like you.
I don't know. We definitely didn't have that chat.
Did you ever see your mom with like a little chafing on the bottom of her chin? A little flaking?
No. I'm sure she would love the topic.
Mom, you look like a billy goat. What the hell happened in there?
I don't know. Big nuts, though.
Yeah.
Mine aren't. I have totally normal nothing. Like you've
Yeah.
seen Ari's balls?
Yeah,
He's got huge
naturally.
nuts, right? He's
Yeah.
got big nuts.
Joey Diaz has big nuts.
Big nuts.
You know who
Yeah.
has really big nuts?
Who?
Jim Florentine.
Does he really?
Oh yeah, legendary.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, because the thing that they always say about, in comedy, it's like, obviously we all have our insecurities. And I think a lot of them are, sexual, female based, like, in other words, the supermodel dude doesn't become a comedian, right? So I think there's a lot, there's obviously a lot of people talking about their dicks and dick jokes and being not enough, right? Like inferior in some way. I wonder how many guys have a nice piece in the comedy community.
Yeah.
Because I bet there's a lot of mediocre dicks.
Well, legendary. The legendary dick was Milton Berle.
Milton Berle, had a hammer on him.
Yeah. I never saw it, but I was a member of the Friars Club, and there was a steam room, and it was confirmed.
They were like, yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, everybody talked about it, and he was very open about walking around the locker room with nothing on.
Yeah.
I used to, when I belonged to the Friars Club, I'd go to that steam room because my father was a friar, so I grew up there.
Oh, right.
My father was in radio
He's a
in New York.
famous radio guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid, I saw the OJ chase at the Friars Club. I watched the, what was it, this 1980 Olympics where the hockey team won against the Russians?
Yeah, 80, yeah.
I was there for that. So I used to go in the steam room when I was like a kid. Not a kid, I was like 12, and I'd go in there and I'd see all these old dicks. It's almost like they were melting.
Yeah.
They just, the balls and the penis were just melting. And then they'd love to walk around naked, and then they'd hold up the shaft and they'd powder. There's like a powdering.
And hair dryer in their ass. The wall, they always dry their ass.
Because it was so hairy back there.
God, yeah.
And so I'd go in the steam room, and then you'd go and the steam room was famously like one of the best in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into these showers, and the showers like these big stalls, and it had like the shower head was like a manhole cover, and it was blasting like 1,000 gallons. It was like being in a civil rights demonstration. You're just getting blasted against the wall. And then you get out, and there was this Polish guy, and you would step out of the shower, and I'm not making this up, he would towel you down.
Really?
You would stand there, and he would towel down your body, and then he'd give you a warm towel, and you'd walk to your locker, and you'd get dressed. And at the time, I think I would give him $1.
Yeah.
I was there all through. I was in acting school in New York, and I used to go there every day after school. I'd shoot
That's kind
pool.
of nice.
Shoot pool, take a steam, work out.
Wow.
It was great. It's gone now.
When did it go away?
Just like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think, before it went away, I had lunch there. It was my only time.
Oh, did you really?
I had lunch there, yeah.
It's a pretty special place, isn't
Yeah, it was
it?
cool. It was really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
because there's so much history on the walls and stuff, too. It was very cool.
I know. Frank Sinatra was the
Everybody,
dean
yeah.
forever. But that lunchroom, I mean, you'd walk in, and the thing is, like, comedians of that era, like the Borscht Belt comics, the Catskills guys, like Alan King and, Henny Youngman, like they loved being funny. So you'd walk into that dining room, and you'd go, and they would all work the room, they'd call it. They'd work the room. They'd go from table to table, and they'd all have a funny story, a couple insults, and it was just the greatest feeling. Like you're sitting there, I never felt more like I was in show business than when I was like a young comic sitting in that dining room.
That's very cool.
And Freddie Roman used to take me there. He was my sponsor because my dad had already died, so he sponsored me to be a member of the club. And then I hung out with like Alan Kirschenbaum, who's the big writer on SNL. He kind of like mentored me for a while. They all took care of me. They were great.
It's sad that it's no longer around.
Breaks my heart.
And it just was that it couldn't be. It wasn't supported
There was
anymore.
some embezzling.
Oh.
Yeah, there was some financial malfeasance. You don't use that word a lot.
No, you really don't. Malfeasance is a pretty high level word.
Yeah, and you don't use it without financial.
True.
You never
When did anybody say malfeasance?
It's actually French for mal, which is bad, and feasance, which is shit, right? Feces.
I think so.
Some bad shit happened.
Is that is the etymology of that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's right.
You've decided that, or you
Yep.
know? Okay. Another update too before we go. Garth has officially turned off all his comments on Instagram. That's pretty exciting. He was just blocking and kind of restricting people, but now it's just all done. That's exciting.
Well, I'm asking people on my special in the YouTube page to say it's called You Know Me.
Mm-hmm.
Put down where you know me from. Like if you heard me on this podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
Write a comment that you know me from
So
your mom's house.
It's out now. It's on YouTube. It's called Greg Fitzsimmons, You Know Me. Go to Greg's YouTube channel. He's one of the best in the business. Watch the special and leave a comment where you discovered Greg from, where you know him from, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of YMH there. That'd be awesome.
Oh, you just watched a YMH highlight. Did you love it? Why don't you have more fun? Click around. Click here, click there, click everywhere. Put a clicker in your beehole. Look, try it out. Have more fun. Why don't you subscribe? That way, every time a video drops, you can be notified. You don't have to think about it. Just do it, man. You're not going to miss a moment of denim. Pull your jeans up, subscribe.